My content is 13 and above, not made for kids. Before we jump into today's video, let's get this video to 3,000 likes, guys. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn the bell notifications on. Yo guys, and welcome back to another evolution of video. On today's episode, we are going to be covering the evolution of Leone throughout of Beyblade. Let's jump back to that fateful day in August of 2009. Enter Leone 145 Defense. Leone 145D was Kyoya Tategami's first Leone Bey in the Beyblade Metal Fight manga. Leone was one of the first 4 Metal Saga Beyblades to be released, along with Pegasis 105F, Bull 125SF, and Sagittario 145S. This version of Leone is a manga exclusive and thus does not appear in the Beyblade Metal Fight anime. The Leone wheel is the first ever defense type metal wheel that was ever released. The Leone wheel has 6 protrusions. Leone comes with your standard 145 spin track, which was the tallest spin track, including its variants such as ED145, C145, or BD145. Well, that was until the 230 spin track was released with Flame Pegasis. Leone comes with a defense performance tip. As the name implies, it is a defensive tip, and it is the first defense type performance tip released in the Beyblade Metal series. Leone 145D in the manga was eventually upgraded into the hybrid wheel system. Moving on to a Bey most of you will be familiar with, enter the Rock Leone. Rock Leone 145 WB, aka Wide Bull, was released in March of 2009 in Japan, and then later in August of 2010 for the US. Rock Leone was also re-released later in the US in 2014 as a part of the Legends line. Rock Leone is Kyoya's first Leone Beyblade in the anime, whilst also being his second Beyblade in the Beyblade Metal Fight manga. As the Leone has now entered the hybrid wheel system, the metal wheel can now be separated into 2 parts. These parts are known as the clear wheel, also known as the energy ring, and the metal wheel, also known as the fusion wheel, adding further customization to the metal system. The Rock fusion wheel keeps the original shape of the Leone metal wheel, retaining the large 6 protrusions on the wheel. Rock Leone keeps the 145 spin track. This time around, Rock Leone trades in its defense tip for a wide ball tip. As the name implies, the WB tip is a ball tip, but well, wider. The last Bey that was owned by Kyoya Tategami in the Metal series is the Fang Leone. Fang Leone 130 Wave Wide Defense, also known as W2D, was released on March of 2011 in Japan. Fang Leone was later released by Hasbro in the 4D system for Western countries in July 2014 as a part of the Beyblade Legends line. Technically, Fang Leone was released in the US way earlier than in 2014, but it was actually released in 2012 as a part of the Beyblade Metal Fury series. This was because the first iteration of Fang Leone that was sold by Hasbro wasn't released within the 4D wheel system, but instead was released within the hybrid wheel system. This version released in May of 2012. Although this version of Fang Leone keeps the correct stock combo that is 130 Wave Wide Defense, aka W2D, the metal wheel is unfortunately hollowed out, making the metal wheel much lighter. This version of the Fang wheel was also unable to separate into 2 separate components, and thus lacks a 4D mode changing gimmick. Moving back to Takara Tomy's Fang Leone, just like his predecessors, Fang Leone retains the 6 protrusions on the metal wheel. As Leone has entered the 4D system, the Fang wheel has the ability to perform a mode change. The metal frame can be flipped into 2 modes. The 2 modes are named Defense Mode and the Counter Mode. Unlike previous Leones that came with a 145 spin track, Fang Leone now comes with a shorter track, the 130 spin track. Leone has returned back to featuring a tip within the Defense series, aka the D series of performance tips, just like the original Leone. Fang Leone now has the Wave Wide Defense W2D performance tip. 8 years later since Fang Leone was first released in Japan, and 10 years since Rock Leone was first released in Japan, enter Rock Leone Zero Massive. Rock Leone Zero Massive is a remake released by Takara Tomy as a part of a new Beyblade Burst system. It was released in Japan in December of 2019 as a part of a Metal Fight Beyblade anime 10th anniversary set. This version of Rock Leone is canon to the manga timeline, and it was actually owned by Kyoya in the one-shot manga named Metal Fight Beyblade Soul Burst. Metal Fight Beyblade Soul Burst was confirmed by the author Takafumi Adachi to take place after the events of the Beyblade Metal Fight manga, but before the events of the Beyblade Zero G manga. The Rock Leone layer adapts the Leone 1 Facebolt, the Leone 1 Energy Ring, and the Rock Fusion Wheel into the burst system. That's pretty much it for the Leone base owned by Kyoya. But now, let's move on to one more final Leone. Enter the Counter Leone. The first version of Counter Leone was released in November of 2009 with the Beyblade Battle Fortress Nintendo Wii game in Japan. It was then later released in the United States in 2010. Again, it was bundled with the Beyblade Battle Fortress Wii game, and this time around, it was also able to be obtained with the collector's edition of the Beyblade Metal Fusion game on the Nintendo DS. This time around, Leone was owned by an entirely new owner known as Nemia or Nemia. Like Sora, the owner of a Cyber Pegasis Bay, Nemia or Nemia is also the owner of a main character Metal System Beyblade, which was later re-released into the Hybrid Wheel system. But unfortunately, unlike Sora, he does not make an appearance in the Beyblade Metal Fight anime. Nemia or Nemia's version of the Leone facebolt takes an entirely different approach, as Kyoya's Leone facebolts typically feature a side profile of a lion's face, whereas Nemia's version depicts a front profile of a lion's face. The counter wheel is based on the Metal System Leone wheel. Just like the Leone wheel, counter possesses 6 protrusions on the fusion wheel. Nemia's version of the counter wheel is green. Just like Sora's Cyber Pegasis 100 whole flat, Nemia's Counter Leone, while being based on a Metal System Bay, uses a different spin track and tip. Unlike Kyoya's 145D, Nemia uses the Defense 125 spin track and the Ball performance tip. Counter Leone was later released again in 2011 as a part of the Legends series, this time imitating its original counterpart more accurately part-wise. Just like Leone 145D, Legends Counter Leone also comes with the 145 spin track and the Defense performance tip. The facebolt also returns back to the standard Leone side profile design. That's pretty much it for today. Leone has really come a long way since it was first released in 2008. Which was your favourite Leone and why? Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, guys, as always, y'all have been great. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, peace out, and have a fantastic day.